All right. Let's see. I might have to get real cozy here. Okay. All right, so my name is Christian Edward, and this is Pyrebang Media, and we're just down at the Continental Congress. And I've had a few little candid interviews with folks, and so who do we have here? Jeanne.
I'm
Goldrick
Jeanne from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
I'm PK from Tennessee.
All right.
Greg Samples from Tennessee.
Greg Samples from Tennessee. All right, and I'm Christian Edward from Beloit, Wisconsin, just kind of here observing and being in the press. So how do you feel about how everything's gone? Now you just got here, right?
Right.
Okay. And how do you feel about how everything's progressed so far as where you've gotten? Do you feel like you've gotten a lot done since you've come here? And
Well, I told the interview person down the hall earlier today that 2 days ago I said I thought this conference was intensely positive. Since that time, I now think it's not only intensely positive, it's positively intensive.
Excellent.
We went through a learning curve, I think, as a Congress. We were all scattered at first. None of us knew each other showing up on the spot. And we're all learning to blend and work together. It's quite a process. And at the same time, we're trying to deal with the merits, the issues, as we are learning to work as a group.
All right. That's awesome. PK, is it now is it Pete or?
PK, Philip Keith.
Okay, Philip Keith.
Last
Okay, so
name
PK,
Loud.
is that how you want to be called?
Yeah, PK.
All right, that's how your friends call you? All right. All right, so now you've been here since the day one, like Wednesday?
Yeah, since the inception, yeah.
Okay, okay. And what do you think about the progress we've made so far?
Well, we've made great strides. I mean, the first couple of days was kind of filling each other out. There were certainly different levels of expertise.
Almost kind of like an organism, and the organism figures out how to work with itself, and then everything just kind of starts working in tune. And
Yeah, the mechanics of this parliamentary procedure, some people knew nothing, some people knew a little, and everybody has slid up the scale a little bit.
Right.
Well, as a female, I gotta say, I think we're birthing something wonderful. We just don't know what it is yet.
Right. Right. Well, yeah. Boy, girl.
We don't have 9 months either.
Yeah. That's a good point. We don't have 9 months.
It's an organism.
It's an organism, exactly. But that's the thing. I mean, I've talked to a few people here who have stressed the point that we don't have. You just mentioned, and I didn't even ask you the question that we don't have 9 months. So what can you elaborate that on?
Well, there's an agenda that was proposed, and I think some people are still not comfortable that there was a pre-scheduled agenda, and some people are okay with it because it obviously helps them.
And what was the basic agenda?
The first, I don't know, PK, the first 6 days, 8 days, they have 2 topics a day. And there's a topic lecture, there's a discussion, there's a motion session, there's a committee report part. It's got a whole little procedure to a topic.
Okay.
So there are, I think, there are 14, excuse me, there are 14 of those topics. And at the end of that time, there's to be free time or a couple of days of extended free time where we're supposed to do something.
Recess.
That's been specified.
Recess.
Hey, maybe.
I guess introduce some subject
You get to go out on the playground
on
and
the agenda.
climb on the jungle gym for a while and play with your friends, and then go back in and try and get something done, basically. That's okay. Now I've been asking this to a lot of different people, and I think it's a really it's a thought-spurring question. And how do y'all feel about taking the Constitution and you take the first 10 amendments here, and then right about here you rip it off and you throw it in the trash can and you burn it with extreme prejudice? What do you guys think about that? Just
Why
taking
did you
the
ask?
Everything past the 10th Amendment, is that what you're saying?
Everything, you pass the 10, and then that's it, and then just take it and burn it, and we don't need it anymore.
Well, our process
And
here
then actually, yeah,
is
the
not
government
to
would kinda
change
go
the
around.
Constitution or to even be political. Our intent is to force, or not force, but to encourage the elected officials to maintain their oath.
Right.
To keep doing, to follow the Constitution as it is.
Okay.
Changing the Constitution or ripping off of everything past the 10th Amendment, that would be a political situation.
I think the phrase that was
The whole
said
thing
was,
is kind of a political situation. I mean, we're up here and where we've chosen representatives, and we're trying to, address our grievances to the I don't know if we want to call it a de facto or a de jure government that we have right now, so it's sort of a political process.
This is a response to lack of redress from the government.
Right, okay. Now, how long do you think, like, the document, what is the document called? Do you guys know what it's just we don't know what it's gonna look like, right?
Has the baby been born yet?
Okay, okay. Now here's a good question. I mean, how do you feel about, let's see, like, it's my personal feeling that anytime government is there and they're making any law or act or statute or they're talking about anything, do you think that there's ever any time that they've ever passed anything that hasn't taken away somebody's rights somewhere when they've gone and passed something, legislation? Or do you think that pretty much every single time they're working in there, they're working to take your rights away?
I'm sure there have been occasions, I just can't think of any right now.
Well, I guess that, go ahead, PK.
Well, let me say this, I mean, government activity can be harmful to people without taking away their rights. I mean, a lot of government activity is to intervene in the market to make the winners a certain group. Okay, and make the losers a certain group.
So free market interference then, yep. Well, that's something that, yeah, definitely, I don't understand how you can call it a free market if government's in there bailing this guy out and that guy out and not allowing this bad business to go out of business. You know, that's obviously a pretty serious problem when that kind of thing happens. And now we have a plague. I mean, we have banks that said that they were too big to fail, and I don't understand why it would be a big deal if my mortgage bank failed. Maybe they might come back to me and be a little nicer and maybe renegotiate my mortgage a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's healthy. It's healthy for businesses to fail. The way the free market economy is set up is that you know, firms which serve consumers make profits. Those that cannot make losses.
Right.
The ones that lose exit. Okay, that in that way, the firms have to serve the consumers. And when you interject government in that economy.
Okay, I'm actually not a consumer.
Could I speak to that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Jeanne.
To follow up, PK, if you think about what you just said, it's absolutely true, because firms or corporations are made by people, and natural law is the bottom line to everything, and people are part of natural law. And the natural law says the strong survive. It's akin to maxims and other things, but the government, to answer your question, is an artificial entity made by people, and so it has taken on a life of its own, which is why we are all here. And it has gone beyond its britches, so to speak.
A little bit.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is that if the government stayed within the means that it was supposed to have done, we would not be in the position we're in today.
Right. So now that's why I
specifically speaking to the constitutional authority for the monetary system.
Well, and the constitutional authority for other things.
Many
too,
things,
taxation,
many things.
driving.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
The point of the matter is the federal government kind of controls the state government, which kind of controls